Hey readers, I hope that you had a chance to go over those spelling words yesterday and our sight words yesterday, and really also work on good readers follow the end marks or the punctuation marks. Remember we talked about that yesterday as well? We had a lot of fun reading a Mo Williams book in our class yesterday, and then we started one. And I don't know if any of you found another book that you use to help you find a lot of end punctuation marks. But I want you to keep working on that. Remember, a period, we kind of go down when we read it. A question mark, our voice goes up just a little bit when we read it. And then the exclamation point shows feeling, strong feeling. And so we read it with a little bit more excitement. All right, we're going to go over something else that a good reader does. An author, when they write a story, they don't tell us everything. There's parts of the story that they leave out, but a good reader does something when they're reading. And it's just a big word. It's called inference. That's a really big word, isn't it? An inference. An inference is when the reader takes clues from the story and they take what they already know and they infer or they figure out what's going on in the story. They might infer or really know how somebody feels, even if they didn't tell them how they felt. But they may know because they took the clues from the story and they took what they already knew, maybe their prior knowledge, it's called, and they figured something out. And that is something that a really good reader does. So we're going to do a little bit of a practice with that with my mystery box. I've got a mystery box with me. And I have something in my mystery box, a little story. And this story isn't going to say everything, but I want to know if you could take the clues from the story that I tell you and see if you can infer how they're feeling or what is going on. I've got my mystery box opened and I have a little clue card here. I'm going to read the clue card and I want you to see if you can tell me how this person feels or what is going on with the person in our story. Sally woke up. Mom felt her head. Sally stumbled back up the stairs and went back to bed. Mom called the school and said, Sally won't be in today. Hmm, do you know what's going on with Sally? Yeah, I bet she's sick. Well, how did I know she was sick, or how did you know she was sick? Let's go back to what the text said. It said, Sally got up and Mom felt her head and she went right back up the stairs. Then it told us that Mom called the school and said she wouldn't be in. So that's something that the text said. Well, I know that when I get up in the morning and get sent back to bed and get called saying I won't go where I was planning on going, I am sick. So I used the clues from the story. Mom felt her head and sent her back up and called the school. And I used what I already knew. It's called my prior knowledge. And I inferred, and you inferred, that Sally was sick. Great job doing inferencing. Easy or hard? I feel like it was pretty easy too. Good job. You're being a great reader. Let's try another one. Ready? All right. Bob and Tim could smell the popcorn. They sat in their comfortable seats. They looked up and were so excited it was getting ready to start. Hmm. Bob and Tim, they had comfortable seats. They smelled popcorn. They looked up and something was getting ready to start. Do you know where Bob and Tim are? Did you say a movie theater? Well, how did you know it was a movie theater? Well, let's take what we heard from the story. We know that they smelled popcorn, they were in comfy chairs, and they looked up and something was going to get ready to begin. Well, I know when I go to the theater, I smell popcorn. I sit in a comfy chair and I look up to watch something. So I use the clues from the story and my prior knowledge, what I already know, and I figured out that they were at the movie theater. So that is what inferencing is, and that is something good readers do. The author didn't tell me they were at the movie theater. The author did not tell me that Sally was sick, but we inferred it. And that is something that a good reader does. So, we're going to do a little activity today, or we're going to practice inferencing with our Journeys book. Now, a lot of you already have your Journeys book at home, but if you were sent home from school and you didn't start out on e-learning, you do not have your Journeys book, and that's okay. But if you have your Journeys book, will you grab it, hit pause, and go grab it? All right. We're going to read in our Journeys book a story called The Storm. And we're going to use our clues from the story and our prior knowledge, what we already know, and we're going to infer some things about the story because the author doesn't tell us everything. So you are going to go ahead and read along with me if you have your book. It's on page number 39, The Storm. Pop has come in. Look, he is wet. Tim and Rip ran to him. I wonder why Pop is wet. Well, let me see if I could see any clues in the story. Oh, I bet you some of you already know, but let's see if we could see any clues. It tells me that he is wet, and I see he has an umbrella and a raincoat. The author didn't tell me, but I can infer that that's right. It's raining outside because I know when I'm wet and I have an umbrella, I know that it's raining. So I can infer that it's raining outside. The author did not tell me, and that's okay. The authors do not tell us everything, but a good reader will take the clues and notice those things. Good job. All right, let's try it. Keep going in our story. I'm going to try to make it where you can see both the story and that board. So Tim and Rip and Pop have fun. Pause it and read this next sentence out loud, and then I'll read it after. All right, unpause it when you're ready, and let's read it, and I'll read it. Tim had to go to bed. And I see some of our high frequency words in here highlighted. Can you go ahead and hit pause and read this? Read that? There we go. What did Tim and Rip see? Tim hid in his bed. Rip hid too. I wonder why they hid. I wonder what Tim and Rip are feeling. It tells me that they hid in their bed and they see something out there. What do you think they're feeling? Yeah, they're feeling afraid. Have you ever felt afraid when you saw lightning or a big storm? Or have you ever, when you kind of felt afraid, kind of hid? I know I have. So I know by the stories, words, and what I already know, I know I feel afraid. So I know he's feeling afraid. Let me ask you a question. Did the author tell me he was afraid? No, they didn't. But were you a good reader? Did you infer? You did. You're doing a great job. Let's keep going. Let's see what happens even though they're afraid because of the storm. Can you hit pause and read this? Let me see if I can get it where you could see. All right. Look what Pop had for Tim. Tim had a sip. What did he have? Yeah, maybe a glass of milk or water. Pop had a hug for Tim. He had a hug for Rip, too. Read this last sentence. Hit pause. Yeah, last sentence. All right. Pop sat with Tim and Rip. The story tells me he brought Tim. I don't think I. Oh, Tim hid in his bed. I don't think we wrote that. He was scared. We inferred that he was afraid. We did that one already. Sorry, I did not write it on my T map. All right. The last one, it says, Pop sat with Tim and Pip. I wonder how I could describe Pop. He brought him milk. He knew he was afraid. I also saw that he was playing blocks with him. And I saw that Tim ran to him at the beginning of the story. So I can tell that Tim must really like being with Pop. And I know when my grandpa would come over when I was a little girl, I loved being with my grandpa. So I could probably infer he sat with Tim and Rip. He didn't just leave them. He stayed with them until they fell asleep. Would you say Pop was nice? I would definitely say he was nice or loving. Now, the author didn't tell me that, but I know he is. I could see throughout the book because I inferred. I took the clues, the block playing, bringing the milk, sitting with him when he was afraid, and I took what I already knew. When I sit with my boys when they're afraid, they know I love them. So I can infer that Pop is loving and nice. And I'm going to put loving. All right, first grade. So that's something good readers do. Good readers take the clues from the story, they take what they already know, their prior knowledge, and they figure out things that the author doesn't just tell them because they want you to be a thinker when you read. So have fun in using your inferences when you read today.